politics, Nqola, newly appointed ANC Youth League recruiter, warned that recently restructured task force under his leadership would not tolerate ongoing infighting that weakened the organization and derail process of rebuilding it and taking it to a national elective conference. Nqola was appointed by ANC National Work Committee to replace Nqola and Joy Memila, respectively, as part of the effort to break divisions and tensions that have characterized them, along with Sonto Motenang, new coordinator of ANCYL National Youth Task Team. NYTT's job. The National Working Committee regretted how members NYTT and other mission teams were at each other's throats for control ANCYL's rebuilding process, while many them spied upon to emerge as officials. The once powerful and influential youth voice within ANC, read ANC seeks to revitalize Youth League. Nqola, a lawmaker, and Motenang, a deputy minister in presidency, was seen as the best fit to take over ANCYL's leadership and lead it to its June election conference, as two were over 35 years old. The threshold for ANCYL membership does not make them eligible for competition. Nqola said the NYTT will launch regional visits from next week to assess the status of restructuring, starting with provinces unable to hold conferences, including KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Gauteng and Western Cape. The KwaZulu-Natal structure, largest state bloc, saw its repeated attempts to hold an elective conference fail at the 11th hour, even though all its districts had held their conferences, due to protracted fights within State Conference Preparatory Committee. This saw Prep Committee Coordinator Mafika Mnabili, who is also the spokesperson for ANC KwaZulu-Natal, suspended by provincial agency after she was accused of manipulating processes. Mnabili left the NYTT on how to deal with the stalemate when he refused to accept his suspension. Read ANC to take action for split youth team. Nqola said that KwaZulu-Natal Conference Preparatory Committee will be restructured and will be supported by the NYTT for state conference. We won't be attending a conference if we're going entertain bickering, because in the current situation, they will continue to derail work we need do. Nqola said they shouldn't have problems with restructuring, but those who have problems will step aside and those who won't collaborate with the process will be helped to get conference. He lamented how warring factions were allowed to find a breeding ground in ANCYL, which was already weakened and struggling to mobilize youth in the country. While we have a youth league that is far from the struggle of young people, we cannot continue to quarrel among ourselves. Let's strengthen the union. Nqola said Motenang received handover reports from Loli and Memila on Wednesday regarding work done by NYTT on rebuilding process of ANCYL work still unfinished. He said NYTT is conducting an organizational assessment of the sub-ANCYL structures that still have extraordinary conferences, with aim of designing possible assistance or interventions. The ANC commissioned NYTT to provide weekly reports on the progress of ANCYL rebuilding process ahead of its national elective conference. Nqola said current time frames for delivering much anticipated conference are reasonable, but NYTT will seek an extension if issues arise that need attention before being allowed to choose leadership of youth community. We will advise the ANC National Working Committee if the issues are so serious that we will need a review of timeframes. Even then, it won't take long. We might need 3 to 4 weeks and then we would have taken care of all the issues. Nqola said part of the NYTT's job is to ensure that regional structures are taken to their plenary sessions starting next week. This is where policy proposals, possible leadership choices will be discussed and put forward by the infrastructure. Provincial assemblies are expected to follow. With many in the restructured NYTT vying for ANCYL chairmanship and other senior positions, Nqola said they would allow things to develop solidly, but would not undermine the job of delivering a credible lecture. A clear picture of who will officially enter the ring is expected to emerge at the regional general assemblies.